In the USA wrestling world, the Young Guns are taking over the landscape. There are only 7 four-time NCAA national champions in the history of NCAA wrestling. But when looking at the Young Guns, so many great names come to mind of who can be the next 4-time national champion. D. Lockett looks like the second coming of Jordan Burroughs. Jax Forrest can wrestle his ass off. Bo Basta has a cult like following. While I think these 3 wrestlers are amazing and they will probably win multiple NCAA national championships, I don't think they'll become the next 4-timer when looking at the future. I think these 3 wrestlers have the best chance to become the next 4-timer. So let's break down how this video is going to go. I'm going to tell what makes these wrestlers special, who are some future threats for these wrestlers, and what are some outside factors that can come into play when looking at their future. I want to start off by saying I think Anthony Knox has the best chance to become the next 4-time national champion of the 3. He wrestles a pace like no other. He can attack both sides of the body. This paired with a high wrestling IQ has made me a fan of this young man. That and he stands on business. If you know, you know. I think I'm a stan of the Anthony Knox fan club. I think I would be the president, but sadly I'm not from New Jersey. Knox is the only wrestler on this list to win 4 Who's Number 1 competitions. Winning 4 Who's Number 1 competitions is so consistent. Not only is he beating the number 2 guy in the weight class, but he's also going wire to wire being a top 2 guy to get the invitation every single year. Anthony Knox has pretty much won everything. He's won 4 high school state championships, he's won 3 Super 32 titles, and he just made the U20 World Team. When looking at top threats, I think it's only honestly just one top threat to Anthony Knox, and I think that's Luke Lillidoff. Luke gets real busy, he has lightning fast attacks, and he's with Penn State. Luke just finished his first year with Penn State, getting 3rd at the NCAA championships and just wrestled at Final X. I would assume that Luke is going to take his berth to be a part of the U23 World Team, so he's also a World Team member this year. I think that Luke and Anthony Knox are both lifetime 125s for this weight class, so I think this is a future robbery that's going to be consistent every single year. I know returning national champion Vincent Robbins is also in the field, but I deadass think right now Anthony Knox can beat him. And with 125, like, it's always a wild bracket every single year. You just never know who's going to win it. One important factor when looking at Anthony Knox and him being a future 4-timer is Cornell. Family, not a factory. I love that saying right there. The university has seen 2 of the 7 4-time NCAA national champions, with Cal Dake being one and Yianni Diakomihalis being the other one. Mike Gray, the head coach at Cornell, he's seen what it takes and what goes into being a 4-timer. So I think if anyone can teach how to be a 4-timer, it is him and the Cornell wrestling team. Like I said earlier, the 125 is always the wild, wild west every year, but I'm putting my money on Anthony Knox to bring back the championship this year. He's took elite level jumps, just looking at him making the world team and everything that's going to fall with it. I'm pretty interested to see how he does at U20s this year. So yeah. When it comes to Marcus Blaze, forget being a 4-timer. I think Blaze has multiple, and I mean multiple, Olympic and world gold medals in his future. Coming out of the tough state of Ohio, Marcus Blaze gets busy. With all the hype surrounding Jax Forrest around this time, it is well deserved, but I think Marcus Blaze is better now, and he will always be better than Jax Forrest. I've never seen someone stay in such good position, especially being so long. Like, I think Marcus Blaze literally wakes up and gets straight into his stance. Like, I can see him right now brushing his teeth in his stance. I think the rumor right now is that Marcus Blaze is going to get the start next year for Penn State at 133 pounds. If I was Penn State, I would just send Ono up to 141 pounds because this would start the ramp up for the Olympic weight, which is 65 kilograms. And plus, Ono coming to America, not the Eddie Murphy movie, but the food is a lot different from being in Japan. There are a lot of wrestlers who could cancel Marcus Blaze's reservation to be a 4-time NCAA national champion. Jax Forrest is a dog, as I stated earlier, but I don't know if he'll get the start right away at Oklahoma State, with them having Richie Figueroa. Lucas Bird is a returning national champion at this weight class. He'll be back next year. Zelton Romney up in California is a big problem. Drake Ayala has a slide by single leg combination that has led him to be a 2-time runner-up. Other important notes: Marcus Blaze is going to have the best coaching staff and the best training partners in the NCAA world. Luke Lillidoff, Ono, Braden Davis, Shane Van Ness, the list just goes on and on and on. However, I think the biggest thing right now is confidence. If I was Marcus Blaze, my head would be so damn big right now. Marcus Blaze has so many wins over former national champions, former world team members, Seth Gross, Dayton Fix, Nathan Tomasello. The list just goes on, just to name a few. Looking at the 133-pound field next year, there's a lot of returning national champions. There's a lot of returning All-Americans, but I don't think Marcus Blaze really cares about any of that. And I think he's going to find a way to win his first national champion.
Confirmed! PJ Duke onto the world team! Oh my goodness.
PJ Duke, the leader of Duke Mafia, has been on a roll as of late. In his last 4 senior world matches, Duke has knocked off 3 former national champions and 1 former All-American. Hell, one of the 7 4-time national champions, Yianni Diakomihalis, beat to make his first senior world team. Wrestle Talk 21 just did a YouTube video saying that PJ Duke is the best high school wrestler ever, and honestly, I'm not mad about it. In the high school wrestling landscape, Duke has done it all. He's won 4 New York State titles, Fargo titles, Super 32 titles, Ironman titles, and last summer, Duke just got a bronze medal at the U20 World Championships. But in the year 2025, PJ Duke just made the biggest jumps anyone's ever seen. As an 18-year-old, he just made his first senior world team. That is even crazy to process. Next season, PJ Duke is scheduled to wrestle for Penn State, so I'm assuming he's going to wrestle 157, 165. With the 2028 Olympics coming up, I think that he's going to eventually make his way up to 165. But for the next 2 years, I think PJ Duke is going to be a 157-pounder. But here comes the Penn State problem. Right now at 157 pounds, Penn State has Taylor Kasak. Taylor Kasak is a back-to-back third-place finisher. This Penn State problem has led top recruits to become backups and ultimately transfer away from the program. The biggest problem is, though, I just don't see how you redshirt someone who literally just made the senior world team as an 18-year-old. This paired up with Tyler Kasak having a redshirt available, I think it only makes sense that Kel Sanders and company honestly just let PJ Duke roll as a true freshman. But looking at the NCAA field and the landscape, I think Myra Shapiro is someone who could cause serious problems for PJ Duke and company. When Myra is healthy, he's probably one of the best offensive wrestlers at 157 pounds. It wasn't too long ago when people were actually having real debates on who was better, Mitchell Messenbrink or Myra Shapiro. They both won a U20 gold medal in the same year, and when he's healthy, Myra Shapiro can light up a scoreboard. We've seen this with Ed Scott. So without Myra Shapiro not being the biggest threat, or if he never gets healthy, I think everyone outside of 157 pounds is cooked. He literally just beat Antrell Taylor, and one thing that people are not factoring is he's doing this all at the Katie training facility. Katie just went on a Basham podcast and just stated that PJ's been to Penn State 1 or 2 times. So you're telling me he hasn't even been training with them yet? So just wait for this young man to get a full year in the Penn State room, pair this with some of the best coaches in the world. Coaches like Kel Sanderson, Casey Cunningham, Nick Lee, Jake Vonner, like the list goes on and on. So if PJ Duke gets to start as a true freshman or not, whenever he does, he's going to be a problem. But I just don't see how you don't start PJ Duke, especially if he's on the senior world team. But even if he brings back a medal, that's just no way you can just like justify not starting him. I also keep forgetting that he's on the U20 and the U23 world team. He literally made a world team at every single division outside of U17s because he's obviously not eligible. But looking at the U20 and the U23 world championships, like those kids are pretty much cooked. PJ's gonna probably roll them real bad. Alright, so that's it for this video, but now I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys think one of these 3 wrestlers has a chance to be the next 4-timer? Or is there another high school phenom that I did not get to mention in this video who has a better chance of being a 4-timer? Moving forward, I'll be doing my own voiceovers per demand from the last comment section, but yeah, alright, I'll catch you guys next time on The Art of Wrestling.
Next time on The Art of Wrestling.